I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mark, second by Richard. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any public comment?
I
Yeah,
don't think we
this is-
have to if you guys talked, right?
John, you can share if you'd like, if you don't mind. This is something we've talked
I
about.
don't know what share, so.
This.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
idea.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm doing the,
Go closer.
I'm doing a sign for the front. of the school.
Closer.
So we gave him some feedback. I don't know if you guys remember a while
Yep.
back.
Yep.
He does, it is gonna be his Eagle Scout project. We've met on that. We also have donations to pay for it as well. So there's a couple donors from the community that are willing to help John in this, venture. And I know it said, what did it say before? Did it say like junior high or middle or something, and we
Yeah.
suggested?
Yeah, we use, just
Yeah.
simplify it.
Yep.
Simplify it.
So,
Now we're gonna put grades on and stuff.
you guys are all okay with that? Is there
Yeah.
anything that you have?
And it's going right out here?
It's going to replace
Place
the,
one
yeah,
that's over
in the teardrop.
teardrop.
Oh, yeah.
The
Overhead.
wooden
Yep,
one that's been there needs some updating, so. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, John.
Yep.
And you do not have to stay and endure the rest of the meeting as well.
I need to do 5 burpees.
Is there any other public comment? All right, moving on to the consent items. Do we have a motion to approve the consent items? Motion by Mark,
I'll second.
second by Richard. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, discussion items, truth and taxation meeting.
We just have to, is everyone okay? This is the date, we have to pick it at this point, with December 5th. Does anyone have a problem with, that's what we're proposing?
That's when we celebrate Christmas.
And that's a Thursday, I'm assuming.
Do we need a motion for that?
I don't know, just I just want you to be aware
So
that
we
that
just
will be
need-
truth and taxation, and it has to be on our board agenda. We can, we don't have to formally.
And we have to have it early because we have to have the second one in order to like finalize it. if I
Yep.
remember right, right?
Yep. We get to play that game of counting days and all that stuff and making sure we're,
Okay.
but the public needs to know, this is when the public is invited at a 6:30 time.
Okay.
Yep, that sounds good. I mean,
So, Wanda, 6:30 time on that night for truth and taxation, we usually adjourn the meeting and come back, so we'll continue to review that.
Okay. Moving on to back to school.
So activities night is Monday night, and then back to school nights, Wednesday, August 28th. At the high school here, from 6 to 8 will be 7th and 8th graders. 9 through 12 will be 7 to 8 that same night. Elementary will have their interview days on Wednesday, August 28th, from 4 to 7, and they also have the interview days on that Tuesday. So we'll operate again like we did last year, both an evening and a daytime for our parents to come in and do interview days. Any questions on that or any feedback that I can bring back?
That's
to
not the
principal?
sports one though.
Nope, the sports one is on Monday night.
You said August 28th was the back to school night?
Yep.
Yes.
And
Is
this-
that all on the calendar, on the
Mhm.
website? Okay.
And it goes out and I'm assuming like once for like elementary, they'll get their notices of teachers and that's all in there too.
Yep.
Cause they have to sign up for their interview.
Yep. Sign up Genius, I don't remember which one we used last year.
We didn't get the notification of teachers yet, did we?
No.
Okay. I was just
You're looking
thinking,
at me.
I know, I was like, we got school supplies, but
Yeah,
not the
no.
yeah, got it, okay. And those notification of teachers, do you know when those will come out? Fairly soon, probably, or?
Yeah, I was down at the elementary today, but I did not ask our
Okay.
mayor planning going out, but I would assume shortly here.
Okay.
In the next week. I'll verify though and let you know.
Perfect. All right, lunch and breakfast pricing.
We have to review this every year. My proposal is that I think we will keep it the same, but we need to raise the adult prices, which doesn't really impact our students, but we're supposed to review it every year.
Do we have many
What are the
adults that
adult
even take the lunch? Do we have
I
many
don't
adults?
know.
I'm not sure. I know a lot of the teachers and staff, like, every now and again will, just depends on
Depends on
what there
the
is and
meal.
if they forget their own or,
Maybe we should start
The same
advertising
way we
downtown.
used to do it.
Come and get it.
All right, so we don't need to approve anything.
No, and we still are under our free, yeah. We already did the milk, we did that last month, we just are supposed to annually review it. But I will follow the proposal to raise the adult, based on what Tucker had proposed.
We know if it proposed, I'm just curious if we get it on record.
I don't know it, I think it was raising it, we can put it on the record for next time, but I think it was, do you remember, Anna?
not off the top of my head, I'd have to
No,
think.
and I can maybe text him, we can maybe get it before the end here, but.
All right, old business, athletic co-ops.
So I would just like approval to approve as normal our same co-ops. I know we had talked, our last time we were together, we had talked about a different co-op with dance. That has went away. Rushford is gonna just continue to be Rushford, and Lewiston, we're just gonna keep ours. So we've had more discussions since the last board meeting, so it's just our co-ops that we had in the 23-24 school year. I did call and touch base with the superintendent today just to make sure that they are wanting to do that as well. And I know Caledonian Wrestling was a little one that was, so I just verified with Craig this afternoon. So we just need an approval to continue co-ops the same way we have in the past.
I still move that we stay with the same co-ops we had in the past.
Contracts, like, we have to sign something last year, don't we?
Yep, and we will do that.
Okay, does that just come through here again?
Yep.
I had a question about it. I'll second, and then can we go to discussion?
Yep.
Okay. I got a question, sorry. I got a question about the dance. Maybe you can't divulge, but I was just kind of curious why that kind of fell through. Did it have to do with like logistics, or was it something that we tried to negotiate?
No, we didn't try and negotiate. We were doing them a favor because they didn't have a coach, and their numbers are dwindling.
Yeah.
And so they were hoping that we could join with them, and we had bigger numbers, but they were able to secure a coach.
Okay,
I
got you.
And so it will probably be a discussion that
It'll
you will
probably come
hear,
back.
you will hear
Right,
again,
it'll come back,
just
yeah, I'm
as,
sure.
as things change for sure.
I was just curious.
Yep. It had nothing to do other than that, so they were, and logistically, that's a lot for all of us three to converge, but we would do it for our kids if we needed to, so.
Okay, motion by Pete, second by Mark. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, transportation for fall sports.
So remember we talked about that each season we'll approve those, what we just talked about, the co-ops, for the cost and budget. It is already built in our budget, to approve it, so when we had our proposed budget, we already had put it in there, but just so you are aware, it costs right around $3,000 for, fall sports, which includes soccer and cross country.
The cross country's going to Rushford and soccer's going to Caledonia.
Yep.
So we contribute for a coach for those sports? I mean, there's 3,000, but
That's transportation.
We have to pay
that's
fees
just
on top of that.
transportation, correct?
And,
Yeah, and each contract is a little bit different.
Correct.
and so soccer, we're driving kids there right after school.
Mhm.
And then we have somebody bringing them back as well. And it's just one trip, or is it separate for boys, girls, junior high? Like, how many trips is it back and forth to Caledonia for soccer?
Steve, you wanna?
Usually just one.
Yep.
Last year we had parents transport, and then they took their laptops and worked there while they were practicing, and then brought them back. Same thing with gymnastics with that one too.
Oh, so that we had a parent that was
a staff
Able to-
member.
A staff member.
Are they able to do it?
And so that'll be the same thing this year?
I'm hoping.
Did we pay that parent at all for mileage, or?
What's that?
Did we have to pay that parent at all for mileage?
Yes.
Yeah, the same way we would pay any paid
Yep.
driver.
Correct,
That's what added up to $3,000.
okay.
And then cross-country is that the same? We drive them to Rushford and
Yep.
then we have somebody wait and drive them back?
What we do with that is they write the
Regular
route
route.
bus,
Yeah, that route bus that goes to
goes
Rushford.
straight to Rushford from here,
And then,
and then one of the buses, when they get done, go down to Rushford on the way back. Then pick them up.
nice. Okay.
So is there any one of these co-op transportations that we haven't approved from last year?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Why to put it back
My-
on, yeah.
yeah, my point is maybe we revisit that at some point and just say, we'll pay for it. Unless something changes. You know what I
Well,
mean? Because-
we ran into trouble when we were talking about gymnastics or one of the other ones because
The details, but I.
it just like he was saying, like it worked out great because we had a parent, but if we didn't have it, like we used to have a driver and then we didn't have a driver for wrestling and then all of a sudden somebody had to go and make a trip and there was just one kid and so I think that's why we just
Isn't that
said we'd
when
have a
Isn't
conversation.
that when we decided to go each season?
Yeah.
as a
Yeah,
group?
but based on participants and based on if we have staff that's able and willing to drive.
I suppose I should ask how many soccer, do we have any idea how many soccer and cross country?
Well, the activities night is on Monday night, so. I can
Good
let you know
answer. Okay.
after that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. All right.
Stay tuned.
All right, so do you need us to approve this then?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to continue doing transportation.
I second.
My only comment would be is like next time it'd be helpful if we decided we wanna do this based on, like, determine if it's worth, you know, right now, we know we have it in our budgets, it's not a big deal, but going forward, like knowing the number of participants would probably be a good helpful information for.
Well, I added.
We'll know that for winter, I think.
Yeah, right, but I mean, like next year, like, put it in.
Yeah, I think we can continue to kind of do this, but I mean, my point was earlier when I was talking is that, you know, I think, you know, we won't do it and then somebody's gonna, you know, some parents will be upset about it and then we'll probably end up approving it anyway. And so we can continue to monitor, but I think at some point we're gonna have to revisit because I think we're gonna approve all these essentially.
I agree, but if we don't have
Or-
staff, like.
or
that's what
we have-
didn't- Yeah,
Or we have to create parameters around it somehow, some
Yeah,
way, right?
right.
So, and that probably involve Steve, who kind of understand how that works, but anyway, just comment.
All right, so we have a motion by Richard, a second by Pete. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, MNPA kindergarten through fifth grade student handbook.
This is something that if you wanted to approve all handbooks,
That's what I was gonna say.
And I was gonna ask you.
yes,
wanted to
you don't have to
it.
do, you could just say, we will. approve.
All 4 MNBA handbooks, 2 Houston elementary handbooks, 2 middle school, high school handbooks, and then the Summit handbook.
so I assume that all the things that, I mean, I sent them every one of them, if I found something like dates or like whatever, like I asked questions, that's all been updated now?
Yep.
Okay, I haven't read them since, cause I figured I'm not going back and doing that
So
again.
Mimi, all you need is a motion to.
Approve all of them, yep.
Approve all of those. I move that all of those are inclusive. The handbooks, all of the handbooks are inclusive,
I'll
and
second.
everybody should be, yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Pete to approve all of the handbooks and a second by Mark. Is there any further discussion?
I just say that there wasn't much updates other than some small grammatical. What was the biggest, do you remember?
I don't know, they weren't, not all of them are redlined unless this last version of them was
Well,
redlined.
the beginning ones, I mean, they were the biggest edits, right? The rest of them were pretty much just name changes. So anyway, it
Yeah.
wasn't anything crazy, so.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Site crisis plan.
Is this the first year we're using that template, Mary?
Was that last year?
No,
Was
it's
it?
the
Okay.
second.
All right. I'll move to, that we have to approve, right?
Yep.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Mark, second by Nikki. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, approval of superintendent goals.
I did, put them as SMART goals and then put the rubric like we talked about last time below, to give some kind of parameters and measurement, which you kind of asked for. If there's anything that you want to change or think we should modify, feel free. And I know I didn't get it to you till this afternoon, but the goals are the same, they're just more specific with those SMART parts, so. And then, the rubric below.
I haven't read them all, sorry.
Let's go with speed reader.
I think they look great. I think people are gonna love your enrolling 100 participants in an officiating course. Sure there's, MSHSL will love that.
We're close to 50, spring semester.
That's
So
awesome.
if I think if I can double that, I mean,
It's a good stretch goal.
And it's a
Yeah.
huge impact, I mean, it's a big impact, not just to us, but
Yeah, I like the rubric too.
You feel that all these highly effective or stretch goals? Yeah. Well, I'm just making sure you feel like that's something reachable. So. I mean, you said with 100. I mean, I get that. That's almost double. So that's a pretty good stretch for me.
all right, so do we have a motion to approve the superintendent goals?
Nice.
I'll second.
A motion by Pete, a second by Mark. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Policies for second reading. Surveys, curriculum instruction goals, curriculum development, textbook, district accountability, and a non-discrimination policy.
Yeah, there wasn't much on
No,
additions to
none of
these
them.
either, right?
I didn't have anything.
I think so.
No.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
I'll second. I like that as well.
So we have a motion by Nikki, a second by Mark. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, new business. Resolution relating to the election of school board members and calling the school district general election. And before we start talking, because I see the next item is about the special election. So if we could talk about the differences between the 4-year and the 2-year and just make sure we all understand exactly what's gonna happen. Cause I'm assuming that one is the 2-year one,
The special.
the special.
The special
Yeah.
is the 2-year one because of
The resignation.
the resignation and then Tom filling in, so we've taken care of the Tom. So the 30 days will be up, Tom will be able to join our next board meeting, so the special election is to replace that seat, which is Marissa/Tom. And then the other one is for the 4-year term.
So if somebody comes in and says, I wanna run for school board, which I'm sure they'll be lined up to do.
They
And
have
so they,
been out the door and around the
yeah, around the corner. So when they come in to do that, do they choose which one they want to run
Yes.
for? The 4-year term or the 2-year term?
Yep.
So
What happens if we have all,
I was just gonna say, in theory, let's say everybody runs for 2 years, nobody runs for 4 years, or vice versa.
I will have to reach out to MSBA, and every situation is a little bit different, right? So it could be the flip-flop of that as well.
It could be
Right.
either, it could be either
So
way.
I would have to reach out, how do we then navigate that? I'd have to reach out, I don't know that.
because we were talking before this, you can't be on the ballot twice, you can't run for both.
No,
I'm sure they got a system for moving them over, I imagine.
Or does it become that we can appoint someone again, out of the
I
candidates?
imagine they'd take that rule and they'd.
yeah,
price
my
it.
guess, my guess is it's something like that, like, so if we had enough candidates for the 4-year and no one went for the 2-year, we would go to all of them and say, is anyone willing to, or
Do
the other,
One
or
of
the
each.
other way,
I mean,
yeah.
Or just put them on there and go tell
And I'm sure they have a
I'm sure that's
system.
not against the rules.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, don't say that out loud.
I'm sure they have a system by which.
Yep.
If you run and there's too much in one and not enough in the other, they've got a system that plays that out, you know.
And I know that, Byron School District, they had 6 out of their 7 that turned over in 1 year, and so I know that they went through that. And I know that they'll help, MSB will help us with that, and how to navigate that correctly.
And filing's already open as of yesterday, correct?
30th, so 2
Yeah,
days ago.
2 days, yeah.
And it goes until the 13th,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
Okay, and so people need to know when they come in, they'll fill out a sheet and they apply to run for school board, either the 2-year term or the 4-year term.
Correct, and the $2 fee.
And a $2 fee.
So before, like, when we resolve the candidates or whatever, whoever's filed, we'll know the list and we can talk with MSBA before that meeting if we have that scenario all in one or the other.
It'll all work out, right? We just hope. It's not a management tool, but we'll try it. Okay, so the resolution for the main general election, anything we need to discuss on here? It's for 3 school board members for 4 years each.
We've read it once already, did we not? So we can read it
We
again.
read something last time. I say, do we have to read this whole thing, or can we just?
Oh,
make-
no, I don't think we have to read it. I was
Just
just
make a
wondering.
motion to approve the resolution?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't have to be a roll call.
And a roll call vote.
Oh, and a roll call. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion by Richard, second by Pete. Is there any further discussion? All right, so roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. So motion carries. Now the resolution calling the special election, which is for 1 spot of 2 years.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
And I second it again.
Motion by Nikki, second by Pete. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. All right, Southeast Service Co-op, Employee Assistance Program.
This is something we do every year for our additional services that we get through Southeast Service Co-op, to help our employees, so we just need a motion to approve.
Is there anything in the?
Was I say, this wasn't what we approved last?
No,
time.
that's,
This is a different part?
Yep, this is a different part of it.
Okay.
It's an add-on, it's for
Hmm.
social, emotional counselors, different people.
Yep. Okay.
All right, any questions on that? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Pete, second by Richard. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Date for public walkthrough to review the summer projects.
So I'm proposing that I thought it would be awesome if we could do it on the 28th prior to our interview and back to school nights for the community. So if you don't have a student in, you could still come in and walk around. And then what I thought would be really cool is if we could, like, half of us could be at the elementary and half of us could be from 5 to 6 and give tours and just show them the projects that we're going on.
What time does the interview time start? You just told us, but I've heard.
No, that's okay. At the elementary, it's 4 to 7. But again, it's gonna be that sign up time, you sign up for your time, or you can do that day on September 3rd.
Okay, cause that's the only thing I was thinking of, like, if it impedes, but you have an hour and there's appointments are only half hours.
And what time was the high school again?
And the high school was 6 to 8 for 7th through 8th graders, and 9th through 12th graders was 7 to 8. So I was thinking at 5, like people are home from work and we could, I don't know if that works for you, or I can ask staff to do it too, but I just can't be in 2 places at once, so I was thinking if we could have some of us here at the high school and some of us at the elementary. And then I think it would be a great, like, one of our goals we talked about was, you know, being involved and showing the community what we're doing, so. That'd be great for all of us to take part in that if we could.
Cookies or something?
Yeah.
Something fun?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Do you need us to approve this, or?
No, I just wanted to see if that, you guys were all game for that.
I think it sounds great.
Do you need us, are we gonna divvy up who's doing what or whatever before then, or?
Yeah.
Free for all.
Perfect, I'm in.
Like,
I can arrange that and
Okay.
schedule together.
All right, important events.
Or if you know that you already wanna be somewhere, I guess.
Was that directed to me? I was just asking.
Oh.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Let's- We can maybe.
If you have a particular place you'd like.
Send us a sign-up sheet.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Make
Ooh.
time slots and locations.
Some of us might already be at the elementary
Yep.
school for it, so.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I can be there. Okay, important events, the activities night coming up on Monday.
Monday night.
Staff back to school, August 26th.
Yep, and we are gonna have, I have an idea for that, but I have not confirmed, so I will keep you posted. But you're invited to come, you know, we have our back to school activities in the morning. If you, as a school board, you're invited to come in the morning, and then we're gonna have some sort of activity in the evening. I'm just trying to finalize those details, so.
I'm not invited for that one.
And that's Monday?
Mhm. And you're invited to that one as well.
you said specifically the morning, so. I was just-
Oh, no, I'm just saying, in the morning you can come, like, if that works
Optional.
better in your schedule, or you can come in the evening,
I know
either or.
that's-
I encourage people to go to that August, you know, activities night. I can't go this year because I have to judge WinStar's over Winona, so I can't do that. But I think that's a really good idea to go to that because you hear the coaches speak and then you can defend the coaches, you know, instead of brought to your attention at all as to what the coaches say. Because then you'll be very aware of it.
Is that for all activities, like throughout the whole year?
All
Yes.
activities.
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole school year.
I didn't know
And
if it was
also,
fall
we
or-
are having an MNBA booth as well to talk about our classes, so, robotics and soccer, you know, Caledonia coaches come down for soccer, everybody comes.
So last year, did the coaches all, I mean, they had a speaker, but I don't know if the coaches all spoke.
No, they don't. You can go to their table.
Yeah, you go to
You go to
their
their
table
tables to talk
to
with
them.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a speaker last
And
year.
again, I encourage that, you to do that. You know, I will follow up and do that, but. I mean, you know,
Okay. And then the first day of school, the 3rd, and then the 4th. And the elementary, we will know, we sign up for our interview time.
Times, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They'll send out an email and a notice, sign up.
And so we go one day later than the high school.
Correct.
You know I'm gonna mess that up, Mary.
I'll
My
remind
kid
you.
misses the first day of school. So, just one day behind.
One day behind.
Got it. Okay, meeting and committee updates.
Robbie will definitely.
Yeah,
keep you
tell him
on
to
track.
note it, remind me. Meeting and committee updates, do we have any? Okay,
And
board,
we can talk about facilities and we'll get to that at the end, but.
okay, board superintendent feedback, thank yous, future agenda items.
I would just say the thank yous is just to the whole community. I mean, it's so cool to see everybody from all over the state in Houston for 4 days or whatever. It's fun to see. And then the alumni, the 50th anniversary was really cool too. So it was a great weekend, and our facilities were in full use. So that's another part that in a small community, people are like, you get that done? Yep. So I will say that the hoedown, I think, was very successful, and it was just fun to see everybody having fun, and the kids and everybody that came back to celebrate. Future agenda items, I don't have, I mean, you know, just, I'll keep you updated as this is where it's go time for all of us to get ready for the, right, Steve, right? We talked about bus routes this morning, and, oh, we did have, update, I forgot, we had the new vans here. that arrived yesterday. So super excited about that. We're gonna get it lettered and ready to go and.
Steve, apparently you weren't driving that one when I watched you go through the intersection with pretty much a rust bucket.
Not that one.
That's the one.
Not that one.
That's the one that only Steve is licensed to drive. Those ones that no longer can transport anybody except for Steve and I, right? And Dan.
I'm assuming like we talked about all the other notices, like bus routes, like the drivers call them, like, is it like a week before school starts or something like that again?
Yeah, I'd like to have by, like Wednesday, have them start to call.
This Wednesday?
No.
So the
week
Wednesday before, I was like,
Yeah.
wait a second, that's a little.
We're just starting to get the transfers and the new enrollees in
Yeah.
now,
Okay.
so. They'll be flooding in pretty soon.
Yep, but we just talked about that. Anything I'm missing, Mr. Mangan?
No, it's been very, there's been a lot of activity around our school this summer. So, a lot of the summer enrichment stuff has been happening too, which has been great. And heard a lot of positive comments from parents and kids too.
All right. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll say.
Motion by Nikki, second by Mark. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And if anyone wants to walk through either this building or that building, you can kind of see where we're at, or I can give you an update too, but,